Hello and welcome to Arm with Controllers. This is Fabs here, and today I'm going to be playing the just released and very sexy Dynasty Warriors 8. So, I'm going to be playing the Battle of Chibi, the Wayside, and I'm going to be using one of the new characters, Yue Jin. As you can see, he's got these crazy hook sword things, which are kind of cool. I really like these weapons because what you can do is, in the midst of a charge attack, you can cancel it with a weak attack, as you just saw, do a quick little backflip. So you can get out of the way if, say, you're attacking somebody and they're just blocking and whatnot, which is kind of cool. Combine that with the speed character cancel thing that that weapon type has anyway, and you are laughing. It's a very good weapon for getting in and doing damage nice and quickly. And Jiazu, stop juggling him, please. Thank you. Okay, so how does 8 stack up in comparison to other Dynasty Warriors titles then? I think it's pretty damn good, to be honest. They've really revamped the weapon system from 7, so that each character now has their own unique weapon to have an X attack with, which is kind of cool. I mean, granted, what it does mean is that you've got things like, say, the rapier. There are 3 functionally the same weapons, but they're slightly different for who you've got, which is kind of cool. As you can see, I've got Yue Jin here. He's got the lightning sword variant used by Tsumashi, which I like because it's got that crazy yin-yang thing at the end there, which is great for freezing opponents in place, and then you can follow that up with further combos and juggling and whatnot, which is pretty cool. So they've also done an interesting thing encouraging you to use multiple weapons, in that each weapon now has an affinity, rock, paper, scissors style, so you've got heaven, earth and man. What this does mean is that each weapon has different affinities and does better against them, like as you can see there, the hook sword. I don't know what affinity I've got with it, but it wasn't as strong against Lu Su's weapon here, which means that if I was attacking him, I'd be doing less damage. He wouldn't be taking, he wouldn't undergo hit stun, which obviously is a bit of a problem. What it does mean is that I can do a special counter attack as well to switch weapon to a favourable one. So yeah, the lightning sword here is currently neutral against Lu Su, which means I won't get any special advantages. But one thing that does happen, if you do have advantages, after you hit them for a certain amount of time, you get to do a crazy storm attack, which is basically you hitting them repeatedly for maximum damage, which is pretty cool. Okay, so Lu Su here, he has a rake for some reason. I won't pretend to understand why. Then again, this game has never been one for its, shall we say, accurate depictions of reality. I mean, Jung-ha, he was a cool guy, but I don't think he was an effeminate maniac with Vega-esque claws. And I'm fairly certain they couldn't summon horses in the middle of boats anyway. But that's a story for another time. So everything's on fire here because of Zhuge Liang's plot. Good on him, even if it is screwing me over. Now this is actually does raise an interesting point about this game, something that did start with number 7, is that in previous Dynasty Warriors games, there are fights, you do your story mode as whatever character you like, and there are fights that, depending on who you picked, you probably most likely would be taking part in, like for example, if you're playing as, say, Xiahou Dun, you do the Yellow Turban Rebellion, you do the Hulao Gate, you do, say, Battle of Chibi here, and the storyline will continue up to a certain point, vaguely following history, irrespective of what happens. So you could have it so that you prevent the Battle of Chibi from ending spectacularly poorly 4-way, and things would go on irrespective of how that went. It's kind of strange. However, what this does do is that, in the story mode at least, you tend only to take part in battles that your side either won in, or in this case, you get to take part in the escape, rather than taking the fight directly to people, because that didn't happen. And the fights that you didn't win, you usually tend to get glossed over in text, or referenced and whatnot, which I think is pretty cool. It does lend it more to actually telling a story, as opposed to here's a random series of events that vaguely represent what happened. So as such, it does it does end at a certain point, you know, not with say Wei uniting the country, which, you know, made little sense. It always was a bit weird playing the older games and you get to Wuzhang Plains and okay, yay, they won. So I don't get to use anybody like Deng Ai or Chong Hui, for example, or all this stuff with Zhang Wei launching his attacks against Wu Wei. They don't happen there. Okay, fine. So yeah, introducing Jin in 7 was an excellent move in my opinion, if only because it added some much needed variety to the game, I think. So anyway, here I am. I'm Yue Jin. He was a character I think people wanted him for quite a while, if only because before pronunciation was standardised as, you know, how it was meant to be pronounced, you'd see these two characters in, you know, two generic officers in Wei, Yue Jin and Yue Jin. You know, you're thinking, okay, these guys have the same name. What's their deal? And the worst part is, of course, that these actually were members of the 5 generals of Wei, the biggest badasses, as it were, of Cao Cao's forces. And they didn't get any representation, but, you know, random people like Cai Wenji. I mean, come on, a random poet that Cao Cao kind of fancied for a while. Really? She's a playable character? Anyway. So it's cool seeing this guy, and I think they've actually done a really good job with the character. Because he, in terms of, you know, his story mode and cutscenes and whatnot, he comes across as very, I wouldn't say unconfident, because that's a word now apparently. I mean, he's not, he's the opposite of arrogance, which is nice. Because it is really wearying to see characters in fiction going, look at me, I'm so bloody awesome. Wow, everyone bow before me or whatnot. It's refreshing to see somebody here who knows their limitations and acts accordingly. I mean, yes, I'm biased because I dislike arrogance in real life anyway, so I've never liked seeing it in my video games, which is one reason why you're not going to see me do a video for Kamen Rider Battle Ride War playing as Kabuto. But that's another story. So yeah, he's a nice guy, and he's got fairly good banter as well with one of the other new characters, Li Dian, who's constantly saying, "You got to stop being so hard on yourself, man. You're like kind of awesome." But anyway, so here I am. I've trying to escape the flaming boats, linked together by Pang Tong and his wackiness. You know, it's an interesting thing. So Chibi, yeah, it's massive event in Chinese history. This is what effectively solidified the Three Kingdoms era as being between the forces of Wei, Wu and Shu, as opposed to, say, Ma Teng's forces or Lu Chang's people, because it established the three powers as the dominant ones, you know, such like, and it is one of the big things in history. You're going to see representations of it everywhere in Chinese media. There's, I mean, we ignore the obvious of the Three Kingdoms TV show, which I really should watch because it's meant to be pretty good. There are loads of animated GIFs of Cao Cao being wacky in it as well, so that alone, you've got to watch that. But it was also the subject of the film Red Cliff, which is what Chibi is translated to. The film by John Woo, which was sort of edited into 2 by... well, it was originally 2 films. It was edited into one long film for Western consumption, which did make sense, if only because a lot of the things in the 2 films, they reference things that happened later on in the Romance of the Three Kingdoms in the history, but weren't brought up in the film afterwards. So things like, for example, towards the end of the first film, Liu Bei and Sun Quan are having a party, you know, they're drinking and whatnot, and he leans over to Sun Quan and suggests, you know, you could lend me that Jiangsu province for a little while, you know, just to help me get on my feet once we beat Cao Cao. And, you think Sun Quan's there thinking, okay, it's a bit off. Now, this isn't brought up again in the films, but those of us who know the history knows, haha, yeah, this was a thing that effectively led to Shu and Wu's, bitter rivalry towards the end of Liu Bei's life. So there you go. Gardening proved to be incredibly stupid. Look at me, I'm one man. I'm going to fight 4 people at once because I'm really clever. Oh dear. So here I am. I'm on a boat, on a horse as well. So I am the man your man could smell like, apparently. That's kind of awesome, I think. but of course the horse doesn't want to jump over. Now he does. Thank you. Okay, so Cao Cao's on land. Now, in the book, and also in Dynasty Warriors 7 as well, something I think they did really well in that story mode, is that one of the things that was going on is that Cao Cao had a tendency to keep saying, we're on land now. Now, if this was me, I'd have sat there in ambush here. But luckily, no one in Shu's that smart, so I'm okay. And at which point, he would get ambushed. This happened about 3 times, to the point where I think, by the 3rd one, that his generals were getting genre savvy and thinking, no, stop saying that, Cao Cao, please. Really quite amusing. But there we go. So I've just beaten up Liu Bei's wife, because that's what I do. And here's Liu Bei himself, one of the most bland characters in existence. I have to be very careful here, because as you can see I think I'm on 1 hit and then I die. So another reason why you really do want to pay attention to weapon affinity is because, yeah, if your weapon is weak against theirs, they're going to slice you into bits. And it will suck. Not that it matters, because once again it's another 4-on-1 by the looks of it. Loads of badasses and whatnot, which is cool. So there we go. So I do like Yue Jin's moveset. I'm just going to grab the weapons here because they have a tendency to disappear when I'm fighting people. It's very annoying. So it lends itself really nicely to going mad, running around, speed and whatnot. Definitely a speed character, yeah. And yeah, so one other thing that this game has added is that now everyone has 3 Muso attacks. Yay! So there's a lot of variety as well in that regard to your crazy special attacks, which is good because Yue Jin, for example, his main Muso is great for crowds, particularly on lower difficulties when you can start properly one-hit killing everything, but not so great against individual officers and whatnot. His second Muso though is good in that regard. I think it can easily chain into a juggle, which is good, and it does a reasonable amount of damage. I mean, you've also got his aerial Muso, which is quite a strong one hit, but it's difficult to get that one to go off randomly, which it's good against crowds in that case, but not so against officers who have a tendency to block and waste your Muso bar, which is annoying. So yeah, there's a see that blue triangle thingamajig above Zhang Fei, sorry. What that means is that shows his that his weapon is weak against mine, and the more I hit him, the bar goes down, so then I get to unleash this storm attack here, which is nice. Oh, I knocked him away so I couldn't get anything. That's annoying. Well, we'll see. Worst things happen, etc. So anyway, let's turn back to where boats are, because if I remember correctly, yes, Sun Quan's left a bunch of people here for me to beat up. How considerate of him. And it looks like they're all weak against a lightning sword, or at least neutral, so that's good. This is going to be a fun fight, I think. I admit, I'm sure I'm being really unoriginal using a lightning sword, because I'm sure in Dynasty Warriors 7 Empires, everybody online was using that, and Shotai's katana style thingamajig. But it's a fun sword. I was using, if you'll excuse me for being hipster for a moment, I was using Sumashi before it was cool, so. So yeah, it is a good weapon for, it racks up hits really well, and also it does, well, as I mentioned earlier, the yin-yang thing there freezes people in place, so you can do some obscenely long combos with that, which is really cool. At least I think it's really cool. Shut up. Anyway. Lu Dai, little big sword. And here's one thing I do wonder though, is that one of the things you do, as with 7, you beat people up, you get their weapons, as you can see here. I'm wondering actually if the weapon you get from random officers as opposed to famous ones, can it be from any weapon set, or is it only from specific ones? Because I'm not sure I really picked up many weapons in the sense of the, shall I say, more bizarre ones. I don't think I've really picked up any of, say, Zhang He's weapons, and I've unlocked him, so it's not because I don't have the character. So I don't know. Anyway, Lu Dai's going to end in a moment now. There we go. Good stuff. Okay, so let's return to Cao Cao and his running away. Come on, horsey. That's a nice feature that you can now get on the horse. If you hold your horse button, you can get on while it runs towards you, which is pretty good. It's, you know, a very small change, but it's one that really makes a difference, I think. So there we go. More fun stuff with the hook swords there. It's really good just being able to do a thingy attack, then, you know, backflip out of it just when, say, somebody is blocking it, so you've got a bit of breathing space. Here we go. So here's his second booster, like I mentioned earlier. As you can see, yeah, it allows you to keep a bit of aiming on what you're doing. Well, that allows you to keep your aim with who you're fighting, which is good because the first one is just, you know, a mad dash forward, and it doesn't hold on to your opponents. It tends to just go right through them, if anything. So it's good for that one initial hit, but it's better off against crowds when there's lots of people you want to kill in one time. So there we go. Right, almost there. Almost there. Oh, thanks, Suchu. Yes, that reminds me of another thing that's kind of awesome about 7 as well. In the story mode, you now get a choice of who you use in the stage, which is good because one of the things that really annoyed me about 7 was, you know, you'd start a new stage, and like, yay, okay, who am I using? Oh great, it's Suchu. It's Suchu again. Please, stop giving me Suchu. So there we go. So yeah, it's a very good chance because you get at least 3 people to pick in each stage, which is good. There's a very good chance you'll get someone you know how to use. And here's an annoying thing about this game actually though. It does need to have a patch of some kind to stop people from being able to hit people through the scenery. It's very annoying in particular because I find what happens is I'll get my Storm Rush on somebody and they'll disappear through a wall in front of me and then appear behind me. And that's a waste. I don't like that. I don't like that at all. But never mind. Which, yeah, I suppose it makes, well, it does stop, well, it has the unintentional advantage of stopping you from carrying on ridiculous juggles against the wall sometimes, but even so, no, I like ridiculous juggles, so be quiet. Oh, I killed him. Yay! That's what you get, Chao Yun. Silly poster boy. But anyway. Alright, we're running up. Is stuff happening? Just a little further. Come on, Cao Cao. And we're at the escape point now. Woo! Looks like a camp of some kind. That's nice. Hurry up, slowpokes. Ooh, they jump around instead. Okay, so it looks like there's going to be a cutscene now. Wait for it to load, of course, but oh dear. Oh, loading's really bad on this, isn't it? Okay, so yes, this is fairly like history in that poor old Cao Cao is kind of bleeding to death at this point. Kind of tired. And who should arrive? It's Guan Yu. Oh, Cao Cao, you're boned, aren't you?
Fight me, Master Guan Yu.
See, those two are friends, which is nice. And this guy's just huge. Described as large across as he was tall, which is probably why I made him fat. But never mind. So anyway, Guan Yu, pretty chill bloke. He's letting Cao Cao off because Cao Cao was nice to him to pay a debt. So there we go. Now, of course, in the book, Liu Bei was all, Guan Yu, why'd you do... I don't know, was it Liu Bei? No, it was, sorry. Zhuge Liang was all, why'd you do that? I mean, I kind of figured, but come on, you could have killed Cao Cao then. And Liu Bei was all, oh no, honor, brotherhood and such like. And that's why I don't like Liu Bei. He's a Mary Sue. Anyway, enough of my ramblings. That's the end of the stage. Join me next time. I'm sure there'll be some more Dynasty Warriors fun for you in the future. There's a whole load of other characters to play as after all. Okay, so this has been Fabs, Armed with Controllers. Please like and subscribe. And, as always, game hard. Good night.